Is this that JPP podcast?
We are all pumped for the holidays. What food do you start with? Is it better to sit at the adults' table or the kids' table? And what will Kevin Durant do this offseason? All that pertinent Thanksgiving information and more this week on Just Press Play.
The red wasp is after pregnant ladies and little kids better get the hell out of the way because I am running. I'm like Forrest Gump, dude. I am running. So the Titanic was the biggest ship on the ocean, but that didn't mean it was unsinkable. Okay. All right. I want you each to use ombudsman in a sentence next week. I got one for you. My name is Kevin, the official ombudsman of the Just Press Play podcast. You like apples?
All right, welcome back. Here we are, another episode of the Just Press Play podcast. We got Pops and LJ joining us, and it's Thanksgiving week.
It is.
Thanksgiving, the maybe the best week of the year, in my opinion.
Really?
Okay. I want to dive into that because there is something great about Thanksgiving week. Because like once Thanksgiving hits, it's like no one else, work doesn't. It's hard to get work done. Like now you're just waiting on like Christmas comes and then New Year's comes and Thanksgiving's like it's like the end of the year basically. Now it's just celebration and it's like fatten up, celebration, eat and drink for a next month and a half.
For the month and a half, yeah.
So, and of course, just like you would have thought a couple weeks ago, now somehow and we'll save some of this talk for later, but the Cowboys now are going on to Thanksgiving Day, one game out of the NFC East, playing the Redskins, where they could essentially be winning the NFC East. And now
I hate the NFC East so much.
Don't blame me.
They just have the Cowboys have no way of. I was telling Dad this before, LJ, but the Cowboys have no way of just putting us out of our misery and just having a bad year. They have to. They have to go. They're going to be 7-8 going into week 17 playing the Giants. I don't know what the schedule looks like, but it seems like it's always the Giants or something. And all they got to do is beat the lowly Giants to get in the playoffs probably.
And they don't.
And Eli Manning's going to beat the hell out of them or something. You just know it. Or it'll come down to the last play of the game and Eli Manning makes like one of his stupid plays. Oh, it's frustrating.
And then they just like get blown out by some NFC South playoffs.
Entirely
I will
possible.
say, did you guys see and this is a more of a sad note, but did you see Alex Smith's injury?
I did not have heard something about it.
I looked away every time they showed it. Hannah watched it, and like I watched her face, and that was enough for me. That was already.
I know you did, and you're not gonna want to watch it. Like you can't really tell the injury as much. You can tell like his ankle and leg gets tied up, but then it's afterward when he gets like rolled over someone's body, and you see that it's clearly. It's like broken. I think he broke his femur and his ankle.
I heard it was a Joe Theismann-like injury is what I heard.
I'm sure they'll show it on every sports show ever. But yeah, this was the 33-year anniversary of Theismann's injury. It looked the same. He's in the stadium.
To the day. 33 years ago to the day.
And
Joe
Theismann was in the stadium. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of wild.
Well, it might be in the same stadium, yeah.
Well, I mean, he was a Redskin. Was it a home game when Theismann did that?
Yep.
Oh, that's freaky.
Yeah.
It is. It's freaky. I mean, it just sucks that you could tell. I could, like you said, when I first watched it, I couldn't quite tell what happened, but you could just tell by Alex Smith's face. He must have looked down and saw that his foot was, hanging the wrong way because his face was like, oh, well, this sucks. I'm screwed. So he had immediate surgery right after the game. And now apparently Colt McCoy's still playing football. Who knew? He's been the backup quarterback the whole time.
He's the backup. Wow. Okay.
And he played well, actually, if you ask me.
He came in, he trotted out and let him down for a touchdown. I mean, the old Longhorn.
Colt McCoy, the times he's been in, he's played pretty well. He didn't make a lot of bad decisions. I mean, Colt McCoy's solid, if not uber talented, right?
Yeah, he's a good backup quarterback, I think. I think he's a very competent.
Props
I would
to
take him right after. If I'm looking for backup quarterbacks, I'm going Fitzpatrick number 1, and then maybe Colt McCoy's in that list after.
Yeah, and maybe Case Keenum. Unfortunately, the Broncos gave him $70 million or whatever.
the starting quarterback, but
hey, he had a big comeback this week. So,
yeah, it's hard. I can't give LJ too much credit. The Broncos had a big win this week.
Yeah, they did.
I can smile when I say that he's the 28th ranked quarterback in the NFL because they won this week. So.
As a fan, I was just curious, El, as a fan, are you kind of like torn when you see the Broncos get this win? Because you're kind of going for the pick at this point in the year, right?
No, just win. Just
win, baby.
Just win,
Just
baby.
win.
Pick, yeah.
Just win, baby.
Well, I didn't want to take the 3 words because that's a Raider problem, but yeah, no, it's all about getting the V.
Well, I was thinking this more for like when I was watching that Raiders Cardinals and the Raiders drove down and kicked a field goal. And those are the 2 teams in the hunt for the number 1 overall pick. So you're kind of like, oh, Gruden got a W. And you're like, no, like this year's already been atrocious. Let's get the number 1 overall pick.
Speaking of, I know this isn't our NFL podcast, but like, did you see Gruden said this week, he's like, I think we've got 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years, and I think we've got some cap room. And it's like, you think? Gruden, what has been your strategy all year if that's not the only thing you're focused on?
I'm pretty sure everything Gruden does, I don't know if he's drinking a lot, but like he just gets blackout drunk. It's like a new day every day. And I don't remember, but I think I did a trade for a good linebacker or something, and I might have got a first-round pick back. I don't know. That's why he has all the dumb quotes where he's like, "Oh, if we just had a pass rush," because sometimes he forgets. He literally forgot that he traded Khalil Mack.
Well, we've seen the Cowboys coached by a blackout drunk named Jerry Jones for the past 7 or 8 years.
Yes.
So, it doesn't work out too well.
I can tell him from experience. It's not the way to go. So and by the way, I wanted to mention, since this isn't our NFL pod, but we'll have some more on that later this week. But if you are looking to do any gambling this week, it's time to get off the sideline and get onto the field. So get in there with MyBookie, put in the promo code JPP, and go win you some money.
Something new. Maybe something new for Thanksgiving. Did you hear about that?
I don't know. You might be sharing this with me.
Well, let me be the bearer of good news.
There we go.
On Thanksgiving, you can't lose money on the Bears game, on the Bears-Lions game.
I did hear
They've
that.
got this new thing. They've got this new thing where if you bet on that game and you lose, they're going to give you your money back.
Yeah.
You cannot lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bears-Lions. Pick your best and then put as much down as you want to because it's a safe bet.
So there's literally no reason not to go sign up on MyBookie. And if you're gonna be there, go ahead and put in the promo code JPP, and they'll match you dollar for dollar on your deposit, and you'll just be happy because you're winning money. I mean, who doesn't like winning money? I do.
Yeah, you can't lose on Thanksgiving Day if you go Bears-Lions. Either way.
I mean, maybe the only thing better than winning money is not losing money, or at least that's a close second.
Right.
I want to put an asterisk out there for the listeners.
Getting an A in a class or like finding out class is canceled. Like both are pretty solid.
They're both pretty solid. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to let the listeners know just to in case you forget why you can't lose on the Bears-Lions game. That doesn't mean you should go bet on anything with the Cowboys. Just be careful. I know they've won 2 in a row.
You can lose that money.
I promise you can lose that money. I've done it many a time. All right, guys. So I wanted to get in. It is Thanksgiving week, and I do want to get into some stuff about Thanksgiving. I think we have some fun topics to get on. But I know this is LJ. Just for LJ, we need to touch on this for a second. Draymond Green, Kevin Durant got into it. Could he leave? Could he leave Golden State, LJ? Where's he going to go in 2019? He might go to New York.
Milwaukee. I think he's going to Milwaukee.
I got news for you. He ain't going to Milwaukee.
Well, I don't know if y'all have been keeping up with this at all, but I knew LJ, as soon as he saw it, has probably been wondering about the 2019 free agency class.
I'm sure he has.
Since that argument.
Yeah.
But
I have an alert on my phone anytime 2019 free agency NBA comes up. I get the notification. It's thousands a day, so I read all of it.
Well, we all know you love it. It is interesting to see. Draymond Green's that teammate. I do think he's a good teammate. Just for anyone who didn't quite, I don't know how you wouldn't have heard. Like LJ said, it's like 1,000 times a day that we talk about this in the NBA. But they got into it at the end of the Clippers game last week. The Draymond Green gets a rebound and the game's tied up, or I think it's tied up. And instead of pass the ball to Kevin Durant, aka the best scorer maybe ever, he dribbles down and goes right into triple coverage and falls over himself and turns the ball over and doesn't score. And Durant's mad and is saying, "Hey, you need to pass me that ball. You need to give me the ball, blah, blah, blah." And Draymond Green, apparently, according to sources, it's a big sources week. Shout out to all the sources out there. They said that apparently Draymond Green called him a 5-letter word that starts with a B and rhymes with ditch. And then, basically,
I don't know if I was going to play with it.
And then basically they kept getting into it, and Draymond Green told him, "We won before you got here. We can win after you leave." And you're just drumming up this whole free agency stuff, and really lit into him. And I just think Draymond Green's one of those guys. Just fire does help you out a lot, but he will cost you. He already cost him one finals, and he might.
He cost him a finals. He cost them. You're right, Kevin. He cost them a finals
because he couldn't keep himself in check, and he had to kick LeBron in the gonads.
He kicked him into pee-pee.
And now and now with the guy, like, I get, like, that team is really good, but Kevin Durant is one thing I didn't understand. So he does say, you can leave and all the stuff we won before you got here, and we'll win afterward. Does Draymond Green not remember after he cost him that finals? Apparently, he told everyone afterward in the parking lot, he got on his phone and called Kevin Durant to ask him to come join them. He asked them to come join them after they lost. And now he's like, "We don't need you. We won before you." I don't get Draymond Green sometimes.
That's some trash.
Oh, Draymond Green, he is a teammate. I think you won't, but he gets fired up. And I think what he's wanting Durant to be loyal and just, I want to be a Warrior. That's all I want to be. And he's just upset that he's not loyal or, and Durant's got to do what's best for Durant. He's got to, and he probably should just shut up and play basketball right now and let free agency worry about free agency later, like LJ would probably like it to do.
Well,
it'd be nice.
Well, the way it works is, the reason this was talked about so much is because all of the NBA fandom, not anyone that wasn't a fan of the Warriors, saw this as, wait a minute, could someone other than the Warriors maybe actually win a game in the finals? And then they realized, oh yeah, even if they hate each other, they're still by far the most talented team, and they're still going to win the finals. Yeah. And I think you saw that, and they'll be just fine. I think they'll win it all. But sometimes, when certain things get said, we don't know exactly what Draymond Green said, but when certain things get said, even if you can, like, let it go and be okay with it, you can't ever take that back. Like, Durant still has that thought in his head, like, Draymond Green still said these things at the end of the day. So I'll be interested to see. I don't think this pushes him out the door. I think if Durant was thinking about leaving, he was already thinking about leaving. It had nothing to do with this Draymond Green stuff. So,
I will tell you, I think Durant is a different dude than when he left Oklahoma. When he was in Oklahoma, he was not, I mean, he's probably a little naive and everybody loved him and it was important. Now, Durant don't give a shit that much. He's a different guy. He is a different guy because he's seen some hatred.
Not that Longhorn anymore.
Yeah, he's just
that's
not
the world.
He's not. Yeah. He's a different dude, and he's going to do what he wants to do.
I think it's a little bit similar to LeBron when he went to Miami and realized, like, whoa, not everyone just loves me, because they're just, for a lot of their career, they're just lovable guys. They're good guys. And I do think both of those are good. Both of those people they're good guys. And then they realize.
Well, and that's the thing is, I think, like, at some point you realize, like, you can be the best at your job. You can be an awesome, likable person, and people will still hate you.
Yeah.
Maybe even more so because you're both of those things. I hate Tom Brady as much as anybody in the world, and I really don't have a problem with him, except for he's too good and too good at it. I mean, so, you're going to have haters no matter what. And that changes you, I think, when it's like, why keep fighting for public approval when Well,
and it's like we talked about before. And to your point, El, like, Durant just did what was good for Durant. He took a job that was paying the same amount for in the West Coast, where the weather's always nice, where the team's really good. Like, it'd be like if me or you took a better job. We left our current job to go take a better job. Right. And then he realized people hate him. And then after he won the championship, people still hated on him. And so I think he finally, like LeBron did at Miami, came to the realization, and like y'all are saying, you know what? I got to just take care of KD. And if Kevin is going to whine and talk crap about it on the JPP podcast, so be it. He can do it. He can do it on his recliner while I keep winning championships,
Yeah. And still getting paychecks. I'm going to still get paid too.
Yeah.
So I don't think this ends up. Go ahead, El.
Well, I was gonna say I've got a possible NBA segment idea for the future.
Let me hear it.
So the idea is, because I get like 1 or 2 headlines a week where I just, like, I don't know what the hell any of those words mean together. And so I think I might, like, come to you guys to, like, explain to me what's going on. Like, for example, this week I saw a video of, I think his name is Markelle Fultz.
Yeah.
Trying to shoot up a basketball, and he looked about as graceful as me trying to shoot up a basketball in like a YMCA looks. What the hell happened? I thought that dude was like a college.
He was a number 1 pick, wasn't he?
This could be fantastic. fantastic.
going on?
This could be great. I love this idea, LJ, where it's almost like explain it to Kevin, except for it's just LJ like, what the hell are they talking about on Twitter about the NBA?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah.
And to answer, we can make this Markelle Fultz one real short, LJ. Yes, Dad, he is a former number 1 overall pick. They took him over guys like Jason Tatum, and he forgot how to shoot a basketball. And there's no answer. It's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my sports viewing life. I don't think I've ever seen something like this.
What is his job, though? Is his job to shoot a basketball?
He gets paid quite handsomely to shoot a basketball and do it well, at least you thought. And my goodness, it's
like next
weird.
week I just forget how to edit a podcast. Is that what happened here? Is like
God, I hope not.
Come in
Well, and I don't
like a horse trying to edit a podcast or something.
And the viewer might not know what LJ shooting a free throw is like, but I will just go ahead and let everyone know that if no NBA draft scout would pick a guy that saw him shoot like LJ. They would not take that person number 1 overall.
I don't care if you hit every shot. If you shoot like me, you got a problem.
Maybe while he's here, maybe for Thanksgiving, I can video him shooting a free throw.
And we'll put it side by side with Markelle Fultz. We can put a little side by side of the two.
It's like, who has better form?
I'll say though, I listen to Malcolm Gladwell. I'm shooting that underhanded.
Shooting underhanded, baby. That's right.
No, real quick, before we move off, I did read some stuff on that Markelle Fultz thing, and there's like a neuroscientist said that like he got hurt at some point, injured a shoulder maybe, and now like his brain might think because he's for all intents and purposes, I think he's healthy, and like the neuroscientist was like, there's something in his brain now that won't allow him to function the way he was pre-injury because he just thinks he's hurt. It's the weirdest thing in the world, and
well, that's like a version of the yips, right? Like that's
kind of what everyone's saying. They're saying he has the yips, and
in golf.
It sure is wild. And then they got Ben Simmons who will not shoot. He just won't. And we don't know if he can or can't because he literally will not shoot the ball. But anyway,
because they practice form together. So,
so I did want to get into a little Thanksgiving stuff. And this is a big week. And I know if we were just talking about the best things about Thanksgiving, I think we can leave it not unsaid, but we can have a consensus of the best thing is getting together with family. You know, all of us getting together, getting to see each other. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to throw out some other best and worst things of Thanksgiving, just some asides, like some fun topics. So my first one I wanted to throw at you, and I'll go to you first, Dad. What on Thanksgiving Day, the meal gets put out, you know, all the food's out, everything's ready. What are you taking a bite of first? Where are you going first?
The mashed potatoes and gravy. That's where I'm going first. That's where I'm going. That's it.
Fair. Well, better question. So you have your plate and it's time to get ready. And say you have first in line, and your answer might still be the mashed potatoes, but you're first one to get your food. You got the line. Are you going to the mashed potatoes first? That's what you're putting on your plate first, you think?
No. I'm going to go in order of whatever which way it's set out. But I tell you what, if I'm going to leave a good space for the mashed potatoes and gravy, I promise. If it's not first in line, there will be an adequate space.
There's no way Pops is getting to the mashed potato and gravy and not having room.
No, that's not going to happen.
It could be the last plate on the table, and it's still going to have plenty.
And I'm going to tell you what. I mean, and I know you didn't ask this, but I'm going to skip past like the candied yams. I'm going to just skip right on past that. Yeah, you know, and leave room for the mashed potatoes and gravy.
LJ, what
was that? Are we doing best and worst, Kevin, or should I say worst? Or
Yeah, I've got worst too.
Well, we'll go to it in just a second. We'll go to it in just a second, Dad.
All right,
LJ, what are you digging into first? What's your best part of the Thanksgiving?
Well, I'll tell you one thing I'm not digging into first, out of love for Mimi, rest in peace, is the rolls that I save for the last thing on my plate every time.
Because they're going to come out just fashionably late, right on time, a little late.
Always.
Even if they come out on time, I'm still going to have them late just in her honor. But so the first thing I go for is the stuffing. You drench that in gravy. That's my A1. That's my number one.
That's a close second. Second.
Well, yeah, I'm with mashed potatoes is number 2, but barely. So.
Well, so on that, I have a question, and maybe this can be a little explain it to Kevin if y'all have more of an answer. But it's a two-parter. One, usually I have this thought process where if we only eat something once a year or we don't eat it throughout the year, it's probably not actually that good. That's why we don't have it throughout the year. But stuffing is awesome Stuffing is delicious. Why do we not eat stuffing more often? Like, why do we not on a random February throw some stuffing in the oven and cook that bad boy up? Do we have an answer?
I'll tell you, my apartment, we do. My apartment, we do that.
Where I'm from, we
And
do.
I had stuffing on we have about stuffing on a monthly basis.
What have you ever had? Your Aunt Christy likes stovetop stuffing. That's what she likes. I mean, you boil water, you throw it in. 5 minutes later, you got stuffing, and you know
That's
what?
what we do.
It's pretty good.
It's delicious.
It's pretty damn good. It's delicious.
So the answer is not that. The answer to my original question is, why do we not eat this better? It's not that stuffing is maybe like an overrated food. It's that we're just dumb and we don't eat it more often.
The usual answer to that is like either it's not that good or like it takes so much effort. Stuffing's not either of those problems. Stuffing's solid year round and takes 5 minutes. You can do it.
Okay, and then here's my next question. Stuffing. Why do some people call it dressing and some people call it stuffing? And what is the difference?
I got the answer.
You do have an answer?
I got the answer.
I do not. I'm anxious to hear.
I'm on fire the past couple episodes.
You are, dude.
Yeah, let me hear it because I want to know.
So stuffing gets its name from being stuffed in the turkey to collect the juices there. Okay.
Does that make sense inside of the turkey.
You stuff it in the cavity, you can say, of the turkey.
Okay.
To try to collect all of the juices and to keep it from boiling itself instead of baking itself and so on and so forth. And so then you pull out the stuffing and then people have stuffing. So then stovetop stuffing is technically not stuffed anywhere. So people call that dressing. That's the difference. And so it's just a semantic problem. It's the same exact.
Huh. Okay. It's not like a
answer.
It's boom.
Well, I want to have stuffing that's stuffed in the cavity then. I don't know that I've ever actually had stuffing from the cavity of the bird.
And maybe one of our listeners can tell us. I don't know if anyone actually still does that. I think that might be how they made stuffing like when they originally made it. And
that's more of an old school thing, yeah.
Because I originally,
I guarantee you a lot of people still do it.
Originally, I thought it was called stuffing and dressing. I thought it just was like a northwest, like north south or east west. I didn't know if it was just a cultural thing or if there's a reason. And so I guess there is. And
Coke or soda or
and that when you ask LJ, you sometimes get the answer. That's just the way.
Sometimes.
So
episode time.
My best thing. It was interesting when I started thinking about this and then getting y'all's answer. It's funny that the best part of the meal is not you would say the turkey or ham, whatever the meat is the entree, but I feel like no one's best part of the meal is the entree. It's always the side, right?
Yeah. And Thanksgiving, I agree. Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think are both.
I think my best is probably going to be some good mac and cheese, especially if you get like one. If you get like one of the, if you're like, so that's why I mentioned to Dad off the top, like which one you go to first. I'm trying to get to that mac and cheese first because I want that crunchy, that good part of the mac and cheese where there's those breadcrumbs on the top of it.
We both make that gourmand mac and cheese with the breadcrumbs in the oven roasted. Oh.
Right, and don't get me wrong, we can just make some easy. We can make shells and cheese and just do it the easy way, and that's delicious too. But when you get that gourmet, that good mac and cheese like Mom and Tammy make, boy, you're talking.
Well, and that's what you're asking. Why don't we have that all year round? And it's because that takes effort.
Right.
That's like because mac and cheese takes 5 minutes, or let's make it an hour. Either way, So it's like we'll take the 5 minutes most of the time. Man, that is so good.
All right, Dad. I'll start back. We'll just keep the rotation we're going in, and I'll start with you. And I feel like we might have some similarities on here. So the worst side of Thanksgiving.
Well, I guess I mentioned it, but I'll give you another one too. But candied yams, I'm not a sweet potato fan. I want my food savory. I want my dessert sweet. I don't want my food sweet. Okay,
my man.
Don't like candied yams. The other thing, and I'm gonna tell you what, your granddaddy liked it, but the cranberry sauce. I don't like cranberry sauce.
Especially when it's shaped like a can.
Oh, I hate it when it's like a can. Yeah, you can still see the marks on the side of where the can
was. Marks from the can. No, there's no need for it. It's terrible. I mean, maybe if somebody made some homemade stuff, maybe I'd try. But
do people actually eat the cranberry sauce, or do we just put it out because it's supposed to be like in the pictures?
It's just Granddaddy did.
Granddaddy was the only one I know.
Because I go by that, and I don't even like almost everything when I'm going by. I'm kind of like Dad, I'm thinking, oh, I need to save room for this, or I need to make sure I have room on my plate for my mashed potatoes and whatnot. I don't even. So I'm thinking about each thing I'm going to get, and if I'm getting it in my second plate or my third plate, when am I? I don't
Right,
even think about any of that cranberry sauce. Don't even. I don't even know if I notice it. I might just. It might be invisible to me. I just don't even pay attention to it.
Right past.
So I'm right with Dad. That was going to be mine too. But LJ, let's go to you. You might be on the same boat. I don't know.
No, I've actually got a different boat, and it's because I'm a weirdo. Because here's the deal.
True.
I love cheese. I love butter. I love those little French onion fried.
I know where it's going.
Green bean casserole is the worst food that America has invented because it ruins those three things.
Whoa.
Oh, I hate green beans so bad.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I know. I'm wrong.
Like,
I understand this.
Your opinion, man.
I don't know if you could, but that's just that's
the dude.
That's just your opinion. That's just your opinion, man. And I can't say it.
I know.
I will. So intentionally, you brought that up, and I kind of knew you would go there a little bit because you've always had a hatred. It's between Tom Brady and green beans as like your most hated things, I think.
You're right.
I too was not a big green bean fan when I was younger, and I think it was just because I was a naive kid who just green. It's green. It's gross, and probably because I learned from my dumb brother.
And then you had this older brother that just cried,
and so I just thought there was something
cried at the dinner table.
So I thought there was something innately wrong with green beans, and then lo and behold, like I was 13 or 14 years old, and I was like, I'm going to try this green bean casserole, and it.
Once I left for college.
Once LJ got the hell out of there, and I wasn't getting fed this terrible information. I tried the green bean
propaganda from the green bean hating machine.
The fake news that LJ was sharing. I reached into that green bean casserole, and like you're talking about, you get that green bean with the crunchy French onion, some cheese. Oh my
cheese and
God.
butter. That's all it is.
It's good stuff. I was getting lied to.
What, like cream of mushroom soup?
Cream of mushroom soup. Yeah.
Green bean casserole. Nope. It's not my first. It's not my first by any stretch, but it is definitely. It's kind of like the mashed potatoes. It's getting on the plate. Yeah, it's getting on the plate.
It's getting on the plate.
Not on mine.
It's getting on the plate.
You talk about don't even notice the cranberry sauce. I notice the green bean casserole and actually make a wider step around. So just in case the essence makes it onto my plate.
So I wanted to throw this at you guys, and I want to see where you stand on this. I almost made this my best food / side of Thanksgiving is the roll. But hear me out. It's not just a roll, but what the utility that you have. Oh my God, it's a tool. Yes. It's basically, as I've heard Dad say about other things, it's just like a vessel to put other types of food into my mouth. And you can put a little bit of turkey in there and make like a little slider. You can put some mac and cheese in there. You could throw if you're getting a little crazy, you throw you spread some mashed potato, then some stuffing, then some gravy. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff you could do with that roll. It's a vital part. And that is
why use a fork if you can use buttered bread?
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, I mean, exactly.
And the roll is the reason why I always end up about 4:30 on the couch in pain, full. Because I had about 8 rolls too many because everyone else realized, hey, I'm full. I'm going to quit eating. Not Kevin.
No, but you saw a plate full of rolls.
When everyone else called it quits, I'm the guy holding up 4 fingers. It's the fourth quarter, baby. It's time to go. So
yes.
I wanted with Thanksgiving. There's obviously a great meal, and we've talked a lot about that. But there's also a lot of desserts. Everyone brings in different desserts, and I was going to throw it to you, Dad. And you've been on this earth for a little while. What is your favorite
minute or two?
What is your favorite dessert at a Thanksgiving?
Wow, this is going to be off the dome because I didn't really think about that.
We know when Lift goes off the dome, we usually get some heat.
We get gold.
I'm going to tell you what it is not. It is not pecan pie. I'm not a big pecan pie fan.
Okay. I'm coming around on pecan pie.
It's okay.
But I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's a resounding fun.
I'm gonna call it pecan pie because I'm a normal human being, but go ahead.
Well,
pecan sandwich.
we all know what we're talking about. So I'm going to go with an old Lutheringer favorite, and that is chocolate pie. I want to go with a piece of chocolate meringue pie with the meringue so damn high you can't even see the top, and you you have to
Shout out
knock
Aunt Christy.
half of it out
yes.
because it's just
Yes.
too much meringue.
You know what I love? You know what I love about this is that just as we can do, and we can't name off everyone's like go to like what people make good. But like as soon as you said that, all of us knew Aunt Christy. You know, we all knew that she makes
Aunt Christy.
that bomb ass pie.
Yeah.
And so I just know people listening to this are like they're thinking about their house and they're like, oh, I know when it comes to pie, you know, that's Aunt Sally. Like, everyone has like the person that makes a really good
That's
blank.
right.
You know.
So I want to, chocolate pie. Yep.
You know, and this might throw you guys off a little bit. I'm not a big pie guy, like overall. You know, if I'm getting desserts,
I'm not overall. I'm not. I agree.
I
agree.
love pie. I'm all about pie.
I really only eat pie during like when Aunt Christy makes some good pie, because I just don't eat a lot. It's just not. I'm a big like ice cream or even brownies.
Well, I do eat a lot.
Well, I don't eat a lot of pie. I guess I didn't finish that sentence. That period, that long comma can kind of throw people off.
Can I have like one more little shout out on dessert though, real
Of
quick?
course, you could have multiple.
Your mom used to make, and it's been a while since she's made it for me, obviously. But do you remember her blueberry cream cheese banana pie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It was like bananas on the bottom, cream cheese in the middle, blueberry stuff on top, real crunchy little crust. Oh
That
man,
is-
that was damn. I just talked myself into that.
Dad,
Your mama can cook.
we might need to take a little intermission so Dad can get a handle of himself, because he got a little carried away there.
We need to pour out a little bit for that.
It is so. There is something, I don't know what it is, but I swear mom can just, and maybe everyone probably can say this about their mama or there's someone, but like there's someone in their family, but
Yeah, we got
someone in your family. But I swear, anytime mom puts her hands on something cooking wise, I don't even have to ask if it's going to be good or not. That woman can flat out
sausage
cook.
balls. Sausage balls. Tell me about
Chicken
some
and
sausage
dumplings?
balls. Chicken and dumplings.
Oh boy.
And that's the thing about Thanksgiving, though, is, as we already mentioned, after I'm already miserable from my 18 rolls that I've just made all these different little concoctions with, now there's like a bunch of different desserts. So I am going to try some chocolate pie. I'm going to go try someone made cookies. You know, I'm going to try if there's some brownies. I'm a big brownie guy. Love a good brownie. But LJ, I was going to toss it over to you. Speaking of pies, you're the big pie guy, but or at least you're claiming to be the pie guy. I claim to be. A good pie, I feel like, needs to have that good crunchy crust, like a good crust on there.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Like that last bite when you get to where the crust is like on that. Oh boy.
I don't know if you guys watch British Bake Off, which you should, because it's the most relaxing thing that's ever been on the history of TV. But they talk about soggy bottoms on the bottom of pies, and that's my favorite term in the world. You don't want a soggy bottom. But yeah.
What's your?
Are you asking what's my favorite dessert?
Yeah. What's your? I was thinking about pie and I was thinking of dessert. But yeah, what's your favorite dessert?
My favorite dessert is that third plate of stuffing and gravy.
Okay, yeah.
Right there.
You know, I think I stand corrected, Kevin. I think I stand corrected. I want to revote.
We need a recount just like Florida does every single election. We gotta redo.
Free one.
If I would have known that was allowed,
and that's funny. We're all kind of in that same boat, I think. And shout out to Cody, because Cody and me are on. We're always on the same boat where, I could go without a dessert. Why don't you just give me like another small steak as my dessert instead of rolling out some?
I think we've got he's the only person that's not a part of the show that has the honor of having a show title named after him, I think, because it was like second steak for dessert or something like that.
And if there ever is a topic, I don't know, Cody will probably at some point, I hope that for the listener's sake, maybe not, but we could get a Cody appearance on one of these spots. And the best time
it'll be fun for us, but not fun for
a good time to get Cody on is talking about food, because my man loves him some food. He joined right in on the combo. But I wanted to shift over to just a good moment in Thanksgiving, and it's as a youngster, it's that moment when you realize you reached it, and you don't have to sit at the little bitty kids table anymore, and you're like, oh, they actually they look at me as a normal person. I'm not one of the little kids anymore,
You're not a little people now.
But well, okay, you say that, but like I don't even know the last time I sat at the adult table at any Thanksgiving.
Well, our family got big enough at one point where we had like the adult table, the kid table, and then like the intermediate kid level kid table
on deck.
But actually, I was going to say that's what you got me right to where I wanted to go, Elle, which is what's awesome now about where we are is we can kind of move from table to table because sometimes the itty bitty kid table is the funnest table, and I like spending some time over there. And I can look like I'm so cool. Like I can pull out this magic trick that's really not that impressive and look cool. But then I can still go over to the adult table and talk for a little bit until I realize I'm over my head, and then I just go back to the table where LJ. I go back to the table where LJ's at, where I always know I can fit in on a conversation. That's always a fun moment. Is there any like time where when you're sitting around enjoying everybody hanging out with people at Thanksgiving and you just hear like that one word, like you're kind of going in from conversation to conversation, seeing where you're going to jump in, and you hear like that one word or subject and you realize, and that's like the conversation you do not want to have at Thanksgiving? Because I already have one that I'm saving up for. Like if I hear at any point, just like when I'm looking around, because as the listener probably knows, I like to talk. I usually do it too much. And so I'm always listening for the conversation of where I want to try to join in. And if I hear anything about any kind of kneeling or any of that conversation about NFL or protesting football, I'm just going to get out of that conversation because I've had it 10 times too many already, whether on this pod or just in conversations with friends and stuff. And I think I'm just going to refrain from any bit of conversation about any kind of kneeling if I can.
Yeah.
That's fair. I agree. Run from the conversation.
I'd rather have more conversations.
Anytime.
I'd rather have more conversations when I can bring up something about a slippery slope to Aunt Corey, and she'll get what I mean with that. No one else will get that, but LJ and her know what I mean.
I was just explaining Hannah that the other day, so we can leave that an inside joke. If you want,
go ahead, Elle.
Oh, I was just going to say my topic is if I hear the name of any elected official of any position, I don't care if it's the county clerk or the president, I got to go use the bathroom.
Instantly time to go use the restroom. And you might just go in there and wash your hands, but it's just...
Yep. Don't care if I support them. Don't care if I'm against them. I'm not going to be in that conversation if I can avoid
So is it...
Yeah, I think I got to go with you, LJ. Yeah, if somebody's into politics, I'm like, am I out? I just don't want to get into it.
Now's not the time for a fight for anybody.
Would you guys say as whether you're... joining me, we'll have that conversation later.
We'll have it the whole car trip to Austin. Ugh.
Oh God.
Yeah, as a solid out there to anyone, like just, and maybe you're not, like maybe you're just now getting your seat up. You're getting called up to the big leagues and you're sitting at the grown folk table or the intermediate table even. Just don't try to sound smarter than you are and bring up politics, because that's a can of worms. You just leave it closed. It's just better closed.
Keep the lid on it. Keep the lid on it.
That's a jar better with the lid on it. So I was going to mention...
Well, talk about it on a Wednesday. Don't talk about it on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's just...
like if you got to talk to somebody, find another day.
Time and place. It's all about time and place. Yeah, it's just... So I wanted to also bring up, and something I'm pretty pumped up about right now is, and a lot of people are doing this, and one thing that's kind of sucky about, well, not kind of, it just is traffic. You're probably going to get caught up in some shitty traffic, especially if you're driving down to Austin. You're going to get caught up in construction around Waco. I guarantee it.
Oh, Waco.
I guarantee it.
Terrible.
Ever since I've been...
Boy, that city's going to be so pretty when they finish it.
Since I can remember being able to see, there's always been construction and always been traffic in Waco. Every trip we've ever made to Austin.
Yep. Every trip I've ever made. Yes.
Yep. So while traffic does suck, Thanksgiving allows a great time, especially. So I'm going to be riding down to Austin with LJ and Hannah. I'm already setting up. I'm making a playlist.
In pocket.
I'm making a playlist for all of us to just jam out to. And I already know, I'm already knowing that whenever we'll hear a lull, and then LJ will go, "Oh, have you heard this song?" And then Hannah will go, "Oh, have you heard this song?" And it's just an awesome time. Like if you're going to be stuck in the car, it does leave a good time to just jam out. Because I listen to so many podcasts nowadays. It's good. It's good to just jam to some music.
Listen to music. Yeah. Just listen to music sometimes.
Yeah. And especially if you're riding with some people you're comfortable with. Like you can take a nap and not feel like you need to stay up, or you can just jump in any conversation you want. Like it's just, there are some good times about being in the car. I do like a good road trip, and that's what Thanksgiving gives you.
I do too.
Gives you the time to.
Listeners of this podcast, you guys should listen to about 2 hours of podcast a week. Start in the J's and just work your way down the route. and then listen to music after that. That's all you need to do.
Is there?
Yeah. Start the J's every time. Every time.
Yeah, every single time. Yeah.
Every single time.
When you start a new podcast, make sure there's no J's available before you move
right.
on to K and L.
Is there any other just odds and ends things about Thanksgiving that we maybe didn't touch on that either good or bad or just?
I mean,
I've got a couple of things.
On the way to Austin is one of my favorite.
Yeah, the
things.
check stop.
Some kolaches.
Okay.
Yeah, that's spectacular.
Yeah, it's always if any listener hasn't done that and they've seen the check stop, it's worth that stop. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know now it's worth that stop.
If you're ever driving through Texas and you go through a city called West, you make a stop and get you some kolaches.
Get you some kolaches. That's just what you do.
Yeah.
Let me throw in two things. One, do you remember the fruit salad that everybody always makes? They always make like some whipped cream with some cut up apples and grapes, and I'm not a fan. Anyway, that's a quickie, but
100%.
As far as traditions at Thanksgiving, this is something my mom started, and I think she got it from her mom, and I always thought it was pretty cool, where she sets an extra place, an extra place for all the people that can't be there.
That's always cool.
And it was always cool. Yeah. That was family members. It was, the people that are overseas fight, the veterans that are overseas fighting for us, or what, they can't be home. And I always thought that was a really great tradition I remember it from my mom, but I'm pretty sure it was her mom, who we called Gaga. That was my Gaga. Yes. Was my mom's mom. And I always thought that was a really great tradition. And then I kind of had one anecdote that I want to tell y'all about. So one Thanksgiving, we had no children. It was just adults.
Back when times were easy and things were good.
And it was not long ago. Y'all gone down to your moms and everything.
Speed bump 1, 2, and 3.
No. Y'all were in Austin. Y'all were in Austin. Okay, so it was not too long ago. So we had no kids. It was me and Tammy and Kelly and Michael, and we had just entirely too much alcohol here, and So we decided after we had the smoked turkey, Michael and I had this bright decision that we were going to make a turkey stock out of the carcass of a smoked turkey. So we get this huge pan and we put it on the stove in the kitchen. And, we've got an electric stove and the pan's like eye level because it's so tall to get the whole carcass of the bird in.
Right. And it's like a fish fry.
Yeah. So we put water in there. I think we poured a little beer, probably a little tequila. I mean, again, I think I mentioned too much alcohol was involved. We start boiling this thing up to make this stock that we're going to make some rice and stuff. Who knows what we're going to make with this stock?
We haven't thought that far into the future yet.
We hadn't thought that far ahead, but I know when the burner came on, the pan started just jiggling back and forth on the burner. I don't know. It was hot and it was boiling. It was like evil incarnate. And then your mom Tammy walked in the house and she smelled it. And apparently a smoked turkey is not what one should make a stock out of.
Wait, could y'all not smell it? Were y'all too inebriated?
Something. Yeah, maybe. I think Michael kept saying, I think it needs another beer. Throw some more water on it
at that point.
Turn the fire up. And then finally, so I put a top on it. The next day we got up. I mean, we got out of bed in the house and it was like, oh my God, what has died in this house? I had to go take that thing and drive like 5 miles away and dump it out in the country. It was horrible.
Got home, still smelled a little bit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So what we like to do here on the Just Press Play podcast is we hope that you can leave after listening to this with one lesson, if not more, but hopefully one lesson. Here's your one lesson. Don't get drunk and try to make some turkey stocks. Just don't do it.
Yeah, not out of a smoked bird. It's just not.
There's some ideas that sound good, and they just need to just be a thought. They don't need to actually be executed, and that's one of them. Just don't.
Yeah, and my boy Michael, my brother-in-law, he just leaves the house. I got to deal with that stinky ass bird the next day. I mean, I got to deal with that by myself.
Oh God!
And Tammy's up like, get that out of this house. It was.
He realized y'all done made a mistake, and he was like, well, this is just going to be a Lifford problem. This ain't a Michael problem anymore.
Yeah, he's like, Kelly, drive me home, because he wasn't driving, of course.
That was his time. That was his time
here
to head on out. It was time to go home.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, keep that in mind. Don't make turkey stock. It's not good.
As we're kind of wrapping up, tying up the podcast, I was going to ask you guys, do y'all have any thoughts? Are y'all big? I think I know the answer to this, but do y'all do any kind of Black Friday shopping? And if yes or no, do you have any like strong opinions on Black Friday?
I do not practice in Black Friday. I do not participate. I have no interest in participating in Black Friday. Now, I usually work on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So I mean, I could get up early because, I mean, sometimes Tammy will get up at like 4:30 to go do Black Friday.
Sounds crazy.
No freaking way.
No.
Am I?
I don't know
doing
why we
that.
call it Black Friday either anymore, because now it's like a week-long thing. Like sales have already started online.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is I do have strong feelings against Black Friday. And like, let me tell you. So Hannah's brother and sister work for a major store. I don't want to like demonize a particular company because it's a problem. All of Black Friday, but so they have to be. They can't ask off for Black Friday, which means at their particular store they can't ask off from 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Thursday onward. So they can't have dinner on Thanksgiving. They're not allowed to ask off for that time. And that is cruel. That is terrible. And everybody that goes shopping at any of these big box stores on Black Friday are supporting people not being able to thanks. And I don't appreciate that. I mean, there's good sales, you know, I get it. I don't hate anybody that does it, but like, just be aware of what you're supporting. Be aware of what you're putting.
And I was going to bring up too, and as you mentioned, I just looked at like the top. I looked up when does Black Friday start? And the first four that popped up were like Walmart starts on Thursday at 6. Best Buy starts Thursday at 5. Target starts Thursday 5. Kohl's Thursday 5. So like none of them start on Friday anymore. They start on Thursday.
Boy, you just outed Laurel and James's.
No, you didn't have to say that if they worked for one of those but I'm just.
I mean, those are published start times for Black
big
Friday,
advertising.
Right?
Oh, I know. I was just saying. I said they have to be on Thursday at 6, and Kevin says one place that starts Thursday at 6.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
That was funny.
I didn't think about that. but I get what you're saying, and it does. I hate that it's taking people away from Thanksgiving and it's taking people away from time with family. But then I see like just a devil's advocate side to it. Sometimes, like I know some of the women in our family, I know Kelly and Rachel and Mom and some of them, that's like their time.
It's a
like,
thing.
I went one time and I didn't really.
Well, and it's their celebration. I get it.
But I went one time. It's not my thing. I do get the deals. And I was just like, I'd rather be sitting on a couch, probably eating my fourth meal.
Still asleep.
Waking up from my nap, my turkey-induced nap, and then eating some more. Yeah.
To get another one.
Going to get some sausage balls.
So I get why some people do it. And then the other thing, too, is if you want to get real mad at like Walmart or whoever, we don't have to go. We choose to, not saying we three, but as Americans, as consumers, we are the one. They're only opening up early because we'll show up earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason they're doing it.
Yeah.
So,
well, plus they give away like 5 TVs for $50 each or something. You know, they certainly induce you there.
Sure. That's a good point.
You know,
but they wouldn't do it if people said, I don't want people to have to work on Thanksgiving.
No, you're right.
Dinner, so.
You've been,
but you are right.
You've been keen on the answers here lately, LJ. I'm going to throw one at you. I haven't given you any time to do any research, so maybe I want to see if this is on top of your head.
Well, you say that, and it sounds like you give me all this prep time. I'm
Yeah,
off
well,
the
no.
dome.
he was off the dome with
True,
dressing
okay,
and
yeah,
stuffing.
true,
I mean,
but-
no prep time.
And with Rick and Richard and
True.
Dick.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for it. And
Don't be scared.
I did not
Give me
mean it.
credit, man.
I'm a man. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to imply that you're not always off the dome. But here's one I want to throw at you because I have no idea.
All right.
Why do we call Black Friday Black Friday? Like Black Monday is when all the coaches get fired in the NFL, so it's a bad thing. Why do we call Black Friday Black Friday? It almost insinuates a bad thing.
Well, okay, so I don't know the exact answer to this, but like my recollection is this name started happening. We used to have Thanksgiving Day sales and day after Thanksgiving sales in my childhood, I remember. And it started turning to Black Friday, if I remember correctly, when there were a handful of deaths on Black Friday from
Like the videos you see on Walmart or whatever where people are pushing each other that way.
That's when I remember, and maybe I was like 12 at the time, and that's the first time I started reading news articles. But that's when I remember the change from being let's go shopping after Thanksgiving shifting to let's go Black Friday shopping is because I think news stories started saying on Black Friday 2 more people trample this year, whatever.
Well, because people would get in fights because they wanted that TV for $50 or $150, and they would fight each other to get it. It was ridiculous.
Also, you know, I can hate on Black Friday all day, every day, but I'll also say like shout out to Mom for getting me Pokemon Yellow when it was the last copy the day after Thanksgiving. So you know, like good has come to my life from Black Friday more than you know the 20 some odd occasions I've been on this earth. So it's but I think that's when the name came around, is when it was being hailed as like the end of decorum in.
Well, there may be a more like somebody might be out there with a better answer, but that makes sense to me just on the basis of when I think of like a Black Friday, it sounds like a bad thing, you know, to me. And I would think you would name a day where you're trying to do all these sales. It's supposed to be a good shopping day. So I was curious why black, and that makes that would at least make sense. You know, that there's reasoning behind that.
When I also think it kind of works out for like the people that go Black Friday shopping. They, at least in those years, kind of wore it, especially as a badge of honor. Like I went out and raved that.
I woke up at 4:30 to make sure I was in line to get the best
sales.
to get that Pokemon Yellow.
Right. It's kind of like you say like I lived through D-Day. I went to Black Friday. You know, it's kind of like, I mean, it's obviously not on the same level, but it's like that same sort of like I suffered through something for you, or for me or whatever. It's not necessarily a like beg for gratitude, but it does. Yeah, it's definitely. I think the negative connotation was something people definitely grasp onto.
So as we're kind of wrapping up, do y'all have any other things y'all want to get into before we do what we're listening to and wrap up how we?
I want to get into the Bears Vikings. What I want to get into.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll get into what we're listening to then. All right. We will. Let's wrap this up the way we always do and get into a little what we're listening to. And I'm going to throw it over to you, El, first. Do you have any specific thing you've been jamming out to?
I haven't really just been like listening to music lately. I've been insanely busy, but I did sit down and watch a movie last night called Slice, and it's got a bunch of actors, one of which might be known as Chance the Rapper. And it's got a really cool soundtrack. It's done by Ludwig Göransson, who's my boy that did Community and did Black Panther with Kendrick Lamar. So the music in it's pretty great. But also it's a weird movie, but it's worth checking out if you're into like, it's about pizza delivery guys getting murdered in a town where ghosts walk free. It's weird. It's strange, but it's really good.
There's no way I would have been able to finish that sentence. I mean, there's no way I would have guessed what that plot was.
Slice. I had. Yeah.
Speaking of movies, you know, I watched for the first time Friday night. I watched The Godfather 1. I spent 3 hours.
Oh, okay. What a great
fantastic movie. It's one of those we talked about like a couple weeks back, where sometimes there's like a really good movie and you know it's a good movie, you just for whatever reason hadn't seen it. And I saw Godfather's on Netflix and it's like 3 hours. So the reason I haven't seen it is because I haven't set 3 hours aside.
It's 3 hours.
When you sit down and have
and so time. I finally
it's lonesome love.
So I finally did, and it was a good movie. Pretty impressed.
I just recently did No Country for Old Men.
No, another good one.
Like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And Lou Ellen is such a good character, man.
That's kind of a thing I'm trying to do now, is I think for the kind of the end of this year, instead of starting a new show, I'm going to kind of just like on the days where I have absolutely nothing to do, I'm going to try to go through some of those movies that just for whatever reason I haven't got around to. I'm going to try to watch some of them because there's a lot out there.
Catch that movie on your list. You know, Hannah and I used to have a physical list until we finished seeing all the movies on it. And we need to rewrite a new one because that is like a good thing to have, is like a list of 30 movies you want to watch. And then you just go through, like I got 3 hours. Let's see what's on Netflix off of our list instead of let's just browse.
Godfather 2 is very legit.
That's the next one.
And Godfather 3 is.
And Godfather 3 is
so
pretty good stuff.
I got a little sidetracked when you brought up movies, but what we're listening to? Well, actually, no. I want you to go first, Dad, because mine might go a little long because I got to go to a concert this week. But what are you? What's your we're listening to?
Okay,
I realized you did.
Well, I'm interested to hear who you went to see. But so I was just kind of rocking along just the other day, and on my playlist, John Butler Trio came up.
Ooh.
And I don't really know. I mean, the song that kind of caught me was used to get high for a living, and Daniela, if you know those, and those are both on Grand National.
Yep.
Daniela, yeah, and then but April Uprising is also a good one. So I really got into John Butler Trio, and LJ, I think that's a guy you turned me on to way back in the day.
Think Jake McGee.
Really, Jake McGee. Yep. Okay,
mowing lawns. We listen to John Butler Trio. Yeah,
good stuff. I mean, good kind of. I don't know what you'd call his music, but kind of rock and roll. I mean, it's got a little edge to it,
bluegrass reggae or something.
Yeah. It's a little different kind of thing and different feel, but really good. And listeners, you need to, if you hadn't given him a listen, you're welcome. Get ready.
The sample size may be kind of small, but it seems like for most of the bands that I've seen with the name Trio in it, I'm usually thoroughly impressed with them. I don't know. Yeah. My sample size is small. But
if band or trio is in your name, I agree.
Yeah, so what I got this Saturday or yesterday, we're recording this on Sunday. Yesterday, I wasn't planning on going, but a couple of friends Friday night were talking about how they were going to go down to Durant, Oklahoma, to the Choctaw Casino and watch Casey. We didn't do any gambling or anything, but they were going to go watch Casey Musgraves, who is someone I love me some Casey Musgraves.
Really?
I wasn't planning on going. I knew they were thinking about going, and they were like, "Yeah, we're going." And I said, "Man, I'm so jealous." And one of them was just like, "Well, if there's still a ticket available, and you buy a ticket, we're riding. So I mean, you can jump in with us." And I pull up on one of the online websites, and I found a ticket for like $36. I was like, "Hell, I got a ride." $36. I'll go see some Casey Musgraves. So I went and saw her in concert, and she was fantastic. I had a ring in my back pocket just in case I got to meet her. I was going to propose on site. And
yeah, she's easy on the eyes, no doubt about it.
I didn't get to propose to her. I still have my ring, so didn't happen for me. But man, she was really good.
Well, but that might be a blessing in disguise, because then the next time we have Tony on, he'd be just goo goo gaga over your wife. So that would be
Yeah.
We couldn't get through a whole episode.
But yeah, I don't know what else. Speaking of Durant, Oklahoma, I don't know what else is in that town. I swear, like it was just like a gas station and a huge casino, and that was it. That was all that was in that town.
Wait a minute. There's about 3 Easy Marts in that town, dude.
So I was gonna mention all there is Easy Marts in a casino, but I thought, man, well, I've done enough like throwing out public places with my Black Friday shaming.
Shameless.
So I didn't need to do a shameless plug, but Dad's always here for the shameless plug. So
yeah, hell yeah.
So if you're ever in Durant, Oklahoma, stop by a gas station.
But I was also at that concert, I got a little more kind of like Dad when he was cooking the turkey stock. I got a little more inebriated. I definitely, that's not like I forgot it. I didn't like black out or anything, but I pulled up my phone and was going to take a Snapchat, and I usually give people a lot of grief for putting like a whole song on their Snapchat. And I thought I just put like a little 10-second video of the concert, and then I got on this morning after I got like a couple of Snapchats from some buddies like, wow, I'll just put the whole concert on there. I went back and looked. I was definitely that person that I always talk crap about, and put like a solid 4 minutes worth of Casey Musgraves.
54 minutes.
Yeah, the whole concert was on a blurry phone video from on my Snapchat, and I just wanted to apologize because I always talk. I'm more apologizing to the people I always give shit about that, because I was that person last night. So
because you made that mistake,
but it was cool. Anytime concerts are always good, and I would kind of like you did with John Butler Trio. Anyone who hasn't heard some Casey Musgraves, she's got a country folksy, but like a little different. Her lyrics are cool. She's real cool.
Yeah, I don't know Casey Musgraves, so this might be a you're welcome for me.
Well,
too,
she's gonna pop up on the playlist that we're listening to a little bit later this week.
No doubt. Sure. And she reminds me of, and y'all probably don't, Crystal Gale. Do you remember Crystal Gale at all? Crystal Gale had a lot of Casey Musgraves, real long, straight, dark hair, very classically beautiful. Always, dressed to the. Well, I mean, just classically beautiful. She's a gorgeous woman. As opposed to like cute, not cute. I mean, she's.
Okay.
Like what?
Yeah, like quirky. Like you think like model-esque, I guess, would be classically beautiful, even though that's not the only.
Yeah. But stately kind of. She stands tall and straight, and she's. I don't know. Her hair is so fixed, and her face is so fixed, and she She's extremely easy on the eye. She won some awards at the CMA the other night. Tammy and I watched the CMA, which country music is not our usual thing, but CMA is kind of easy to watch because you can walk room to room. If you miss a little something, it's not a big deal. It's good to just kind of have background stuff on. But
sure.
Casey Musgrave's really wrapped up.
Album of the year. She won Album of the year. So
I'm a fan.
What a world. Yeah.
I'm a fan. Absolutely.
All right. I think that'll about wrap us up for this week. We got some green bean shaming. We did some shaming of some big Walmarts in different places. So we had a lot packed in this episode. I hope everyone has an awesome Thanksgiving. I can't wait to see all the family and stuff out there. And it's a good week. It's a good week, man.
I can't wait to see you guys.
I'm pumped to see you guys. I'm tired of looking at you through the screen and recording through the mic. So it'll be fun. Just for everyone out there, just enjoy Thanksgiving. It's awesome. Spend time with the fam.
Be safe.
I noticed now that I've kind of moved away from. I'm not like living with either families like every day or in the same town. Time can go by where you don't see people in a while, so it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see everyone. So
these holidays get important as you get older.
They do. They really do.
That is the truth. I think we'll end it on that note. So appreciate you listening, and we'll be back. We'll be back with another one later this week. Peace out.
Happy Thanksgiving.